Hello, I'm Samuel Yancey,
And I'm Xavier Boomershine.
and this is Sprint 4 Video 2.
Yep. This is the implementation of our strategy design pattern. We use the anim strategy version, where we have three independent objects or dependent objects, all dependent on the boss's state to pick which one to use. So the boss has three different states, two of which are tied together, being the flying state, the body flying state, and the head flying state, which dictates them moving left and right, and the boss's body shooting down bombs on you. And then the second state that they transition to after being hit is the death state. So once you hit the head, the boss enters the state and begins playing the death animation. And we'll transition into the next stage. So you can just run it here. There we go. I see it just runs the death animation. So close this up. Here's our diagram. And the way it functions is quite simple. You simply have an interface that's called anim strategy. And through the strategy, we create one function called animate. And we overload this function with various different objects in order to achieve desired outcomes. The first two ones are boss anim flying and boss anim H flying. These two just simply dictate the two objects that are controlled by the boss, which are the body and the head, moving in tandem left and right. And then the boss anim dying, which is the end state for whenever the player successfully does cause damage to the boss for the first time. So next.
Okay. And inside of our code, we have our boss 1 body. When we initialize our boss 1 body, we call anim strategy boss 1 anim flying, which will take us over to our anim flying here. Inside of this, we have the code for if it hits a wall, it'll bounce off of the wall and change directions. And we want to change our state from anim flying to anim dying. But before I get to that, I should show the anim H flying. This is our anim H flying. It's very similar to the normal flying, but it controls the head, which is an entire separate entity because we have to be able to tell when we hit its weak point. In boss 1 body, under our update, we say if state equal 1, then we proceed to boss anim dying. We go to state equal 1 if we detect a collision between the player's projectile and the boss head. When we go into boss anim dying, it does three important things. It sets the head's state to 1, it sets the body's state to 2, and it returns the ball to the player. Now, inside of boss 1 head, when it sets the state to 1, that means right here that we say super.done and we go ahead and we get rid of the head. The head is just a hitbox. It doesn't draw anything to the screen, so we don't have to worry about the player seeing that something is gone. So we delete the head, and then in boss body, which we set the state equal to 2, if the state is equal to 2, then it runs this code. This code simply changes this thing called I, and what I does is it goes through this huge array of buffered images that we have. The buffered images, each index inside of the array is one frame of our death animation. And so we go through our entire array to display our death animation, and once we reach our final frame, we set state equal to 3, saying that we played through our whole death animation. When state is equal to 3, we say super.done, and we notify event, meaning that we tell the game that the boss has died and it needs to go on to the next one.